I never imagined that I would really be standing here today, that this idea would become a reality. Thank you everyone for coming out here today. Thank you to the adults in the crowd for listening to youth and believing in us. Most of all, thank you, young people, for recognizing your power. We are the future. We are the future, and we deserve a voice in discussions that will impact our generation and generations to come. Our thoughts on world issues such as climate change and human rights violations deserve to have a platform, not just because we will be inheriting these problems when we reach a certain age, but because these issues are affecting us now. Youth are every gender and sexuality. Youth are every race and ethnicity. Youth are immigrants or born to immigrants. Youth are the poor and middle class and deserve affordable health care and education. Youth need to be heard. We have observed the blunders and bigotry of the current administration, how politicians' policies have been taking this country back in time, causing hostilities with other countries, wreaking havoc in our world, and we have felt powerless. We cannot vote. We are considered property until we turn 18. We are not taken seriously by many adults in positions of authority. We do not have very many places to express ourselves in our worries about current events. But look around you. Look at this crowd that supports you. Think about all the young people in this country and the world. Think about Sophie Cruz, a 6-year-old who is a leading immigration activist. Think about Joshua Wan, a Hong Kong student activist who is internationally known for his part in the Yellow Umbrella movement. Think about Malala Yousafzai, a Pakistani activist for girls' education who is the youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize at age 17. These young people are no different than us. They have just taken action on what matters to them. We do have power. There are outlets through your school and community to take action on issues you care about. And if there aren't any, make one. Create a club, volunteer, petition, make art, protest. There are so many ways to affect change. Activism can even begin with a post online and a discussion about an issue that matters to you with friends and family. We all have a flame inside. I can feel the energy here today. We must persist. Progress does not happen overnight, but if we continue to use our voice, our power, there will be change. Every one of you here can make a difference in the world, big or small. The adults can make a difference by respecting youth as people and listening to our visions for the world. We as youth can make a difference by seizing our power. We have thoughts worth sharing. The more creative and unconventional, the better. Young people push boundaries. Humans are not born with hatred and fear. We learn to close ourselves off to people and ideas as time goes on. What we are born with is wonder. As young people, we are curious about the world around us. Young people accept difference as beautiful. We can use this wonder and acceptance, this youthful energy, to take a stand and affect positive change for our future. So to the young and to the young at heart, though I know it can be difficult in a world that is trying to silence you, never forget your voice. Never let anyone make you forget your power. Never forget that we are the future and we have something to say about it. Thank you.
Bathrooms. Right now, bathrooms are a huge problem. At a lot of places, people who are trans or not in the gender binary can't use the bathrooms because the signs only say male and female. This happened to me at the emergency room. There was no bathroom I could use. I'm not all right with this. Are you okay with this? No! Okay, now I'm on the right page. The average cost to change a single-stall bathroom from gender to inclusive is $14. Is that worth their money? Yes! Right now, most places are choosing to save the $14 over the right for everyone to go to the bathroom in a bathroom. I've had to pee in parking lots. Is that okay? No! And youth will be the world's next adults. So let's stop treating kids like their voices don't matter, like they don't know. If our next generation doesn't know what's going on, what can they do to keep the bad from repeating and the good from sustaining? We are at the brink of nuclear war because people weren't taught how much voting affects our world. Instead, we were taught how to mummify an apple or memorize some other useless fact. We were taught facts, not feelings, not behaviors. We were taught history, but not in a way that connects it to our current events. What not to do, but not what to do. And this needs to change. Tell your teachers that you want to know what's happening in the world. Tell your principal, the school board, or whoever it is. Tell them what you think you need to learn, what kids need to learn. And youth, we can start a movement. We have started movements. We can find solutions, and we have the power to do great. The US, in fact the world, is in a tough spot right now. So this is the worst time for youth to sit back. This is a time when we can shine. Whether it's little things like telling a peer that the word they're using is harmful, or big things like helping organize a march. Everything helps, whether little or big. Everyone can make a difference.
Hello, everyone. So I just want to start off by saying that I'm super honored to be here. Is that better? Can everyone hear me? Okay. I'm super honored to be here, and I'm amazed by this wonderful turnout, and I'm so glad that I can share my story here with you. Growing up in Vermont came with an array of challenges and advantages. Although we've never had trendy clothing stores like H&M and Anthropologie, and I've never been able to indulge in a Red Lobster, the Vermont culture has greatly shaped my identity. Not only did I receive an outstanding public and higher education in this state, but the humanistic and progressive environment around me helped me develop a strong empathy for others and a deep passion for standing up against injustices. This passion has also emerged from my own personal experiences with injustice. As a Black Vermonter, I have experienced racism in a variety of forms. Whether it's a constant mispronunciation of my name without any care for correction, a microaggressive remark made by a peer, friend, teacher, or other authoritative figure regarding my physical appearance or academic abilities, or a more overt instance such as being followed around a store that I frequently spend money in. The constant reminder of my race has unfortunately enabled me to realize that although I believe I am a homegrown Vermonter, my race inevitably separates me from my white peers. I can recall a moment when a boy that I was seeing told me that we couldn't be serious because he wasn't ready to be in an interracial relationship. This was one of the first times that I was aware of the role that my race played and how others would interact with me. Even though him and I had grown close, he wasn't ready to deal with the potential ridicule that he may experience from others from having a Black girlfriend. It was moments like these that led me to feel isolated and misunderstood. The depression and anxiety that came from feeling othered by people that I was close with was debilitating. It hindered me from succeeding academically as I let others' comments stop me from believing in my own abilities. I eventually rebuilt my self-esteem and stopped letting the stereotypes attached to being a Black woman inhibit me from being my best self. Although I once let others destabilize me because of my race, the journey of examining myself and acknowledging my truths has made me more firm to my identity. As young people, we must be the pilots of our own futures. We must break through society's restraints and take control over where we will end up. Every one of us carries our own set of demographics that shape our identity and the lenses in which we see the world. We can find many differences amongst us. However, the one unifying factor between each and every one of us is that we are all additions to the human whole. As a community, we must put our differences aside and recognize what makes us common. We must put ourselves in our neighbor's shoes and try to examine what a walk in the world is from their perspective. Extending empathy to others will dissolve any notion of hate, fear, or bigotry that may erupt when differences approach us. Being a Vermonter means a variety of different things to me. Being a Vermonter is experiencing the widespread excitement of the news of a new target. Being a Vermonter is being kind-hearted, caring, motivated, hardworking, and accepting each other. One thing that I am certain of is that being a true Vermonter does not include intolerance, xenophobia, or bigotry, and we must strive as individuals and as a community to extend love to those around us. Thank you so much.
I want to have kids when I grow up, and I want them to have a good environment to grow up in. So I'm hoping people will litter less and put trash in the trash, compost in the compost, and recycling in the recycling. And please turn off electric power sources when you are not using them, like turning the lights off if no one is in the room. Because we all want to save those polar bears, right? Helping to plan this march made me feel helpful, and I hope you can do something that makes you feel that way too. We are all human beings, and we can all do something. This march really helped raise morale. Thanks for coming.
I'm Ethan Sonneborn. I'm 13 years old. I like dogs, basketball, and fishing. I'm also running for governor of Vermont. To everyone here today and all across our country, know this: we are America's future. The reason I'm here today, because my goal, not just in my campaign, but in my life, is to prove that government matters. That it matters who we elect. That it matters what happens in our country. Everything we do, it all matters. That's why we need you to be engaged, to be involved in the decisions that have such a profound effect on your lives. We need to encourage healthy political conversation in our schools, not treat it like taboo to voice your opinions and debate with peers. As we gain more and more access to the outside world with new technology, we're also being increasingly closed in from the important events that happen all around us. So reach out, talk to your parents and peers, but at the same time, don't be afraid to form your own opinions. If you feel that something isn't right or should be changed, then let people know. Look at the facts and decide how you feel. We are the future, so let's not be afraid to shape it. People may tell you that your voice doesn't matter because you're too young. But the truth is, democracies are centered around the idea that every individual can make a difference. It doesn't matter what color your skin is, or what your gender is, or even your age. All that matters is your willingness to speak up and share your opinions with others. Even if you're one of us who may not be old enough to vote yet, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't get involved. We must be the voices of a generation, leaders for others and advocates for ourselves. We may not be old enough to vote yet, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't get involved. We must be the voice... Wait. Why shouldn't you be the one to end worldwide hunger, to make a breakthrough in medical science, to protect world peace, to put people on another planet? We are the generation that will do all these things. Why not start now? We as young people are uniquely able to reflect on what we want our futures to look like. To be a young person in 2018 means that we are informed. It means that we pay attention to our world and that we are prepared to fight policies that hurt our futures. We each have a future, and it matters more than you could know. But our collective future as a country means so much more to our national story. Because today can't be the last page of that story. Each of us has a unique ability to add a chapter to that story. To strengthen this generation's legacy. No matter what you do great things, make our communities proud, and never be afraid to speak up.
Growing up in my Egyptian household, my father and I would eat mangoes and dance to Kulthum's voice, which was sweeter than the fruit we munched on. My uncle would tell my brother and I old Egyptian stories that would make our hearts beat fast and echo in our ears like drums. My grandmother would call me every night and remind me at the end of our conversations, "Dawam al-hal min al-muhal." Translation, nothing stays the same. And she was right. I quickly realized my peers could not understand the tongue my parents gave me as a gift, so I quickly washed it away with the English alphabet, quickly forgetting the only language my family knew. I was embarrassed whenever my friends mocked my mother's broken down English, destroying my dignity whenever she spoke, so I made fun of her too. I hated my Egyptian skin. It was screaming while the white flesh surrounding me were silent. I was different. I carried two cultures like it was a burden, so I tried let going of one, but I couldn't. Instead, others tried to get rid of one for me by telling me I am not American. My skin too dark for their American flag, so I laugh. My red lips carving around my white teeth, causing blue tears to run down my cheeks. It's funny because they don't realize that this soil is mine. This American flag is mine. This birth certificate is mine. My family thinks I am too American, and America thinks I look too much like my family. I sit in the battle of Egyptians mocking my broken down, watered down, beaten down Arabic while my fellow Americans swing at the epitome of my bloodline while whispering in my ears that I do not belong. I blamed my parents. Blamed them for bringing me into a world that already hated me before I even hated myself. I was a girl who carried no country. I let others name me in their own language until I forgot every word of my own, and I chose to follow them. Now, when the doctors draw my blood, I feel the pain of my parents leaving the country they once loved. They came to America to give me a blue passport for freedom, and now people laugh when I say I'm from here, making me feel like a dead girl that has been poured back into my body. People come to me and ask me which I hold first, Egyptian or American. I did not know I had to choose one over the other because to you, I can never be both, but I am. And I dance on the soil of my country without tripping over my skin, dancing to the sound of others mocking me, but I do not listen, laughing at the humor of ignorant Americans, naming me as they will, but I do not forget. I do not forget that a plant needs its roots to grow stronger. I remember the distance from my family's blood and the open sky. Remember that I do not lie but face the aesthetic truth, and I can run my hands on my strong skin without the consent of others, without having to seek approval. Remembering that this is me, that I carry the history of two countries without any burden, that I love my parents for bringing me into a country full of hate so I can create hope. And now, my grandmother's words replay in my head. Dawam al-hal min al-muhal. Translation, nothing stays the same. And she was right. Because I am no longer a girl who hates herself. I'm a girl who will throw hands at a single soul that will speak poorly of my mother's broken down English. I'm a girl who no longer ignores her beautiful culture in a country that wants to get rid of it. I'm a girl who loves her Egyptian skin unconditionally, who can lift the weight of two cultures without getting tired, who can be American and an Egyptian body.
How many queer people are out there? How many people of color are out there?
My name's Z, and I'm 15, and I'm going to say some words. And this is a little bit, okay. Often I feel silenced and underrepresented, identifying as a queer person of color and being youth. But being a part of Youth for Change and being here speaking in front of all of you, I feel heard, and I know that I am not silenced. I am here contributing myself and breaking the set-up systems made for oppression. I am powerful. I will not be silenced. Queer people have voices. Trans people have voices. Differently abled people have voices. Women have voices. Immigrants have voices. People have voices. I have a voice. I am not oblivious to what's happening in the world. This is my home, and it will be my future. And right now, it does not look so good. So we all have to change it to make it better. Youth are strong, powerful, and can make a difference to change the world.
Hi everyone, I'm Rio. My 16th birthday is tomorrow. So here we are on this beautiful winter day. I'm surrounded by all these beautiful activists marching for our future! But if we don't do anything to save our future, we won't have these beautiful days anymore. Our grandchildren will walk the streets wearing masks, and their grandchildren will scuba dive through the streets of Manhattan. So, what can we do? Get a recycling bin. Even better, a compost. Take shorter showers, pick up some trash off the road, take a walk, a bike, ride the bus to work. Take out your earbuds, put down your phone, turn to a fellow passenger and ask, are you aware of the situation we are all in? Educate one and they will educate the next. Because we can save this world from this environmental situation, which will eventually lead to complete devastation. And I am filled with hope that we will save this world, because I can see all these strong people who are willing to make a difference and are out here today marching for our future! Woo! Thank you.
There's a driver's license that's been found belonging to Lauren Morris. So if that's you, if you could please come up to the podium at some point.
Who here is afraid of something right now that is happening in the world? I'm afraid. I was afraid when I got here because I was so afraid to talk in front of 30,000 people. But by the time I'm standing here, I've felt so much more love and support from all of these smiling faces, and it's really amazing. The process of creating can be terrifying. To try new things is to put trust into the unknown, because we never know what the future holds. We must take some kind of a risk with every piece of art we make, every time we stand against oppression, every time we start a conversation. Doubt may overtake us because we do not know where to start. We are in Vermont. We are so lucky. We are surrounded by forest. From spending time in nature, I have learned the gentle balance of life and death that comes with the rising and setting sun, the changing seasons, the survival of all seasons, of all creatures. We can scale down this theme and make it fit our personal experience with finding the balance between love and fear. The only way to begin any project is to make the leap, to put our trust into ourselves, our peers, and the mysteries of existence. It takes letting go of things that are hard to let go of, being uncomfortable. It takes being uncertain in order for us to let go of our doubts and to move forward. Creativity takes courage. It takes following your intuition. It takes connecting to the nature of yourself. It takes being alone. Turn off your phone. Take a walk in these beautiful New England woods. Feel the sun on your face. Take steps with intention and take them one at a time. Open discussions, ask for help, be willing to see from new perspectives. Remember that you are still breathing.
Hello, my name is Nargis Ansali. I am almost American. I was a victim of President Trump's travel ban. I am Muslim, I am a girl, and I was trapped. And even though people tried to tell me that I didn't belong here, that I will never get back to my friends, I didn't listen. I got back to this country. And because of that, I know that even though people hate, we don't have to listen to them. We are not who they say we are. We can decide for ourselves and we can say no. No, I will not listen to you. No, I do not want you to do that to me. No, I want to come back. My friends are here. My home is here, and you cannot tell me that I am not American.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. I hope you've all learned something today and will continue to be leaders in your communities. You've heard from some of the most amazing youth right here in Vermont. They're engaging in and creating necessary conversations. We need more of these change makers today than ever. So I encourage you to continue to support and applaud their efforts. I'm going to push you to build a relationship with youth before you leave today. I'm going to ask that you do not stop here. That goes for youth and adults. Make a commitment to yourself and your community to stand with your fellow humans. Fight for the justice of people of all backgrounds. And remember, today's youth are tomorrow's leaders.
So one more time. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks
I
like.
said, show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Thank you all for coming to this Youth March to speak out.